That delicious recipe was so good. You're describing it so beautifully. It even made Dr. Darren Green go. do you want to give that to camera quickly? Just. Oh my word. Okay, let's get back to our medical topic of the day. We're talking about migraines, and if you suffer from migraines or you know somebody that does, you'd like to seek some advice, please give us a call on 083-913-3728, like Navashni did from Durban. And her question was this. She says that her husband suffers from regular headaches. He's a carpenter. Could that be a possible trigger, his working environment?
Yeah, good question. I mean, for him, there'd be two possible pathologies there. The first one is obviously via the sinuses, the amount of dust he inhales. So looking at sinusitis and acute inflammation because of all that. And then the second one is he works with resins, a lot of resins. When you think about wood treating products, from the paints to the varnishes and all that, a lot of them obviously contain chemical compounds that are noxious to our sense of smell, but then can also lead to it. I think just of being exposed to the smell of paint, a freshly painted room for a long time. The same applies to a lot of the wood products. So it could be triggers. You know, obviously one would have to look at the intensity of the headache, the associated features and symptoms, and how debilitating it is.
Let's take a call from Joburg. It's Sarah. Good morning.
Good morning.
Great to hear your voice. Thank you so much for the call. What's your question or your comment to the doctor?
Okay, I was suffering last week with a severe eye pain. On my eyes were paining and my forehead. I just want to know from the doctor whether that was a migraine attack that I had.
Sure. So she mentions a debilitating or severe headache with accompanying eye pain. There are different types of headaches that are associated with eye pain specifically. You do get a type of migraine called an ocular migraine, but you also get other headaches called cluster headaches, for example, where you have a deep, almost like a drilling pain in and around the eye. It's normally unilateral, but it doesn't have all the other features of a migraine, which are the typical ones would be things like a nausea, where you feel like you're going to start vomiting soon, as well as the visual disturbance. In other words, blurry vision or things that have halos around them and that kind of thing. So she doesn't have those symptoms. So if there were visual symptoms associated, I would suggest that she has it investigated, and certainly if the frequency of these attacks becomes significant, that she should see firstly an ophthalmologist and then possibly a neurologist if need be.
Well, Sarah, I hope that did help. Thank you very much for your call.
Good luck.
Now, earlier on, Doctor, you mentioned that there are certain foods, like very strong cheeses, nuts, wine, that could trigger a migraine. But converse to that, are there foods that can actually help you to prevent migraine?
Yes, so I think firstly hydration. So water is not a food really, but it's certainly part of our diet. And I think being sufficiently hydrated plays a major role. The hypothesis of antioxidants and whether using these coenzymes like Q10, for example, play a role in migraine prophylaxis is something that's being investigated currently, and we're still waiting for some good hard science on that. So that's what we can say at the moment.
And in terms of these foods that you were talking about, you know, the cheeses and the wines and what is it in that stuff that would trigger one?
One of the big things is called tyramine. That's been identified and proven scientifically. And those are the things, for example, that you'll find in chocolate, for example, and mature cheeses.
All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, but our lines remain open on 083-913-3728. We'll continue our chat with the doctor after the break.